Okay, I'm live. Hello, everybody. I hope my sound's okay. I'm live on YouTube over here with this webcam, and over here I have my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it's KFA Consulting, like Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt. So go follow me over there if you haven't followed me yet there. And if you're on Instagram and you haven't followed my YouTube channel or subscribed, just search my name, Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, and you'll find it. You can type in Leader Standard Work, anything like that, and I come up. So, oh my gosh, I'm excited to be here. It's sort of impromptu. I just wanted to come on and share about an announcement that I just made this morning about the new Leader Standard Workbook that I'm releasing in November. But more than that, I have not posted a video in a few weeks, and I just have to laugh because, you guys, I've been making YouTube videos for like 2 years. I started in 2020 in July, and I was recording like a little bit before that to get videos prepped. And so I guess that's 2 years and 5 months I've been making these videos, and I finally ran out of space on my computer. I finally ran out of space on my desktop. You would think I'd be prepared and have like an external hard drive or whatever, but I don't. I just saved all of the clips on my PC. So the most recent video that I made on I was talking about like navigating, essentially being like steering the ship or charting the course, which I think is a good video. It's only like a 12-minute video. I can't get it to save and download properly so I can upload it to YouTube because I need to clear out my disk space. So I just thought that was funny, and it just kind of shows like, wow, I've made a lot of videos over the years. So that is one reason for going live, because I'm like, this will be easier. All I have to do is record and then it will upload itself. So for those of you who have been around for a bit, you know sort of my big, like if I had a method to my leadership madness, it would definitely be Leader Standard Work. And it is the thing that helps me figure out how to be successful, or I guess not how to be successful, but how to define what success was for me. Because as you know, as high achievers, leaders, we're always striving for more, and we're always like wondering if we're doing a good enough job. And then that turns into self-doubt, like, am I good enough? And you forget to enjoy the journey. And I've definitely been there, and then still continue to be that way sometimes. And so what I want to do is, and the good thing is I have a method that works. And when I come back to that method, if I've gone astray for a bit, because let's be honest, we're not all perfect, right? I can definitely get back on course and feel very aligned and feel good. So as a leader, my goal with everything that I teach is to help compound everything that I know and share that with other people. So then that like exponentially grows and turns into something even bigger than myself. So that's why I love leadership, is because I would much rather spend my entire day teaching somebody how I do that thing so they can learn that thing and do it better, and then iterate on that, get better, and then teach the next generation. Like, to me, that's impact. That's huge and amazing. And so as I've been teaching these videos and I've gotten questions, I'm always trying to think like, how do I teach the method? And it works great in certain videos, and certain videos catch on, certain videos don't. It works great to be able to share the Leader Standard Workbook tool. But like day to day, like I use so many different mindset things, so many different tools and templates in my daily work that support Leader Standard Work. And so that's been my attempt with making planners and being organized and sharing. And like, I'm very excited to have this new version. So when I launched in 2021, it was only digital, and it was for GoodNotes. And that was really fun. I felt like I finally put onto paper what I was thinking in my brain, what I would use. And then subsequently, I heard a lot of people were using OneNote and wanted templates for OneNote. So I created OneNote Templates, which was great. And that seemed to have like really kicked off. I need to do some research because I see different videos out there saying like OneNote's back or OneNote's going away. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. So if you know, please comment if you watch this replay. But So yeah, so it was all digital. And honestly, I wanted that because I thought like I'm all about like reducing waste. And I tended to gather so many papers as a leader. And as a manager, I began to be a lot more paperless. I didn't keep as many notes. Um, but at the same time, there's just something that always makes you come back to like that handwritten like feel. Even the iPad, you can get a screen protector. I have one that makes it feel like you're writing on paper and you're using a pen and everything, but there's something about a tangible physical piece of paper. And you know, trying to be green, all of that, but it's a lot more accessible. Not everybody has a tablet or an iPad, right? If you can start with a pen or a pencil and paper, you can do anything. So that is another reason why this year a big thing is the new version is going to be print and it's going to be digital. So I'm going to show you some of the inside of it now, but I want to share with you I have what is called a disc-bound planner system. You guys might know it as Happy Planner. A lot. That's kind of where it originated. I have several Happy Planners here or Happy Notebooks, and you've seen some of these on my channel. This one I use for gratitude. These other ones have been more like planning and goals. And I love them. And the reason I do is because you can literally open them up. Make sure that both YouTube and Insta can see this. You can open it up. My Instagram's blurry. Here we go. And you can pull the page out and you can take it out. You can recycle it. You can take this piece with you. You can just have this piece on your desk and then you can put it back very easily. You can add paper, subtract paper. It's wonderful. This does feel like a great recycling system. So I've used Happy Planner probably back to 2015. So what I'm going to do is introduce the disc-bound system into the Leader Standard Workbook where I will have, you can buy discs. So if you end up pre-ordering the Leader Standard Workbook paper, it's going to come with discs and it's going to be, so you can take out and add paper. So I will have all the pages punched for you and everything will be ready to go and it will ship like a notebook to you. So I'm still figuring out the cover situation. This is actually a custom cover I got from my business coach, which is really cute. But I have a puncher to like custom make these pages for you guys. They make it so that you can make these pages tear out. So that's going to be the print version and it's going to print on heavy paper. So the GSM of the paper, I think the one I was using was like at least 120 GSM. It just means it's heavier. It's not quite a cardstock, but it's heavy enough where you can take it out and put it back in with ease and it's not going to tear and it's going to be durable and hold up. So for this one, I'm showing some of them are on heavy weighted paper and some are just on normal paper, just like printer paper, as I made this prototype because I wanted your feedback before I fully print, you know, the whole shebang. So that's going to be the printed version. The digital version is going to be, I'm going to have it for GoodNotes in like a PDF form. And then if people want, I will make OneNote templates, whether it's PNGs to separately add to your OneNote or having it already set up in OneNote and then giving you instructions for importing the OneNote file. So hello for joining me. Thanks for being here. I just wanted to say hi. So I'm Kayla. I teach planning, leadership, mindset, career organization. We're talking about the Leader Standard Workbook, my brand new version for this year. Last year it just was digital. This year is going to be print and digital. And I'm on YouTube Live and as well as over here, I am on Instagram Live. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it's at KFA Consulting. Otherwise, check out my YouTube and please subscribe. So let's get into the nuts and bolts. First things first, so the waitlist is open for the new Leader Standard Workbook Planner. And it's in the description of this live. It's also in my Instagram bio as my link. So you can check it out there. And essentially what that does is if you join the wait list, you'll get an email letting you know when pre-order is open. So in 2 weeks, pre-order will be open on October 24th. And what will happen is if you join the waitlist, I will send you an email so that you know, like, hey, pre-order's open, like go ahead and order your print or your digital download. And at that time, I will be offering early bird pricing. So you want to snag that right away. You'll be the first to know so that you can snag it at early bird pricing, because then November 1st is when early bird pricing will be done, and I will be shipping out all of the print planners as well as mailing or emailing you, sending you a file of the digital planner, whether it's GoodNotes PDF or a OneNote bundle, whatever you guys are wanting to see. So that's sort of the timeline. So waitlist is open, link is in the description or the bio. Click that to sign up. The 24th is when pre-order will be open, and then November 1st is when everything will ship out. Obviously, it will still be for sale after that, but that's when early bird pricing ends. I don't have the price set yet, but I will be announcing that. So that's another reason to join the waitlist. So you get updates like as I'm planning, and you can participate in sort of the co-creation of this planner. So yeah, I'll be letting you know, but I want it to be affordable and I want it to be accessible, because I know how hard it can feel to get started, but I also know that once you invest in yourself, you are more motivated to use the tool. So that being said, I want to share expectations with you guys. So we're talking about the new Leader Standard Workbook Planner, both the print and digital, that's coming out. Pre-order opens in 2 weeks on the 24th. My intention is on this YouTube channel and on my Instagram is to walk you through all of the templates over the next couple weeks so that you get a really good feel of what they are and how to use them. And I love launching planners, but one thing I think I could get better at is really showing you how I use the tool day in and day out, and how it works when you're consistent and not just like, here and there. There are going to be days when you don't use your planner, and that's okay. And that is another reason why you can just insert different pages when you use it. But mostly you're going to want to use this in a consistent way, in a way that makes sense for what you're trying to achieve. So a lot of times I'll hear from leaders like, I'm struggling to keep track of the bigger picture because I get stuck in the details of my day, or I'm not able to communicate what I need to my boss during one-on-ones. I have no idea what they want me to share. Sometimes it's like I doubt my decision-making or whatever I'm working on, because I'm not sure if that really is the priority. And every time I sit down and work on it, I question myself, like, is this the right thing to be working on? Sometimes you struggle with remembering like all the little things, right? You'll be in meetings and you're like, oh, I should do that. And you kind of like scribble it on a random Post-it, or just like a corner of a random notebook page, or maybe just on the daily plan page. And you're like, I'll come back to it. And then like 3 weeks later, when someone's like, hey, did you do that thing? You're like, oh my God, I wrote that down, but I forgot. And I never saw that note again, right? So my system helps you get yourself organized for success so that you can remember those little details, but then also see like the bigger picture of where you're going. Prioritize your projects, make sure you know what to ask for from your leader. And then if you are a leader leading other people, making sure you're asking them so then they meet their deadlines and goals, and then you can support them proactively and say, how can I eliminate this? How can I help you eliminate this barrier, right? So this is the system that I use. And what I'm really excited about is the ability to keep adding to the system. So I love creating templates. So part of this will be that I'm considering doing like a Patreon or some kind of group where, or maybe even like a Facebook group or something, where as I create templates, you can kind of sign up for extra, where I will like provide monthly templates and such. So I'm still thinking about that. I'm not sure. But let's dive into kind of the meat and potatoes of what we've got. So I'm going to show you, I have been playing around with this planner for the last like couple weeks. I teased it a little bit on my Instagram a few weeks ago on like heavier paper. So I've experimented, and I think I've come up with something I'm really excited about. Hello, if you're just joining, I'm live here on YouTube talking about the brand new Leader Standard Workbook Planner that's launching in November. Pre-order opens on the 24th. So join the waitlist if you haven't. It's in the description below. I'm also live over here on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, go check me out at KFA Consulting. Otherwise, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, type in my name, Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, on YouTube and check me out and subscribe. So the first couple pages, essentially this planner is going to be a full year and it's going to be undated. So it's going to be available for you to fill in. I will have probably some dates where you can choose like to have 2023 written or just like blank. So I'll provide options when you go to order. So we have a monthly template, just like a typical planner, with a section for goals and a focus. Sorry, my Instagram has that like portrait mode on it. I don't know how to turn that off, so it's hard to see. And then it would be awesome if. So this is kind of a section to really think like, okay, if I have 12 months during an entire year to get stuff done, like how awesome would it be if XYZ happened this month? Like if I could move the needle a 12th, right? And so many people wait till like the last 3 months and they panic and they're like, oh my God, what did I get done? I got to set goals for the year for my performance review. This is going to help you get ahead of that. So we've got this monthly calendar. I'm going to show you how you can use it and to make it even like more useful than most people do. It's not just about dates. It's about being proactive. Each month will come with a monthly reflection. See if I can get it to show. I don't think I can on Insta. I'm going to have to figure out how to get portrait mode off, but I'll put templates and pictures up for you guys after. And, these questions are like, what went well and where did opportunities occur? What got me the most excited this month? What drained me? What themes did I notice? Did I meet my goals? If so, why? If not, why? What is my intention for next month? So really focusing on noticing themes. And actually there's a daily reflection as well that you can choose to use that can help you really hone in on what you love to do. Because sometimes when you're in leadership, I feel like the brightness on this changed. Maybe it got darker. Let's see if I can switch it. Looks so weird. Oh, I don't like that. I'll just leave it. My ring looks weird. But as you get further into your career, you start to wonder, like, is this what I truly love to be doing? And we want to make sure it is. And if not, we want to provide you with an opportunity to notice what you love and what drains you, and then try to make that shift. And you can do that by talking to your leader and proactively learning or gaining a mentor. This is about learning about yourself too. And then, of course, we got our tried and true Leader Standard Workbook, or Leader Standard Work Template that is essentially like I said, if I had a method to my leadership madness, that is it. So I have sort of an updated version in here. And then I also have next to it an I love lists list page. It's basically a brain dump page. So I'm sort of like anti-lists, but like also like love lists. Like it's like a love-hate relationship, because when you work from your to-do list, it can be super hard to prioritize. You will pick like the easiest thing on there, and then you'll leave like all the things you don't like. Hello, thanks for being here. And you'll like leave everything that you don't like. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I have too many things to do that I really have been procrastinating. But I do like a good brain dump to like get it out of like your mind and onto paper so that you are not taking up that mental load. So again, if you're just joining me, I'm live on Instagram here at KFA Consulting, and I'm also live on my YouTube channel. So check me out. You can search my name on YouTube, Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, and I should come right up, or type in like Leader Standard Work and my videos come up. Otherwise, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, go to KFA Consulting and follow me there. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of a big brain dump. And then what you can do is my method allows you to take your list and then prioritize it each day to something I call a leave happy task. So the next big template in here that I've never had in my Leader Standard Workbook before is a weekly plan. So I go back and forth. Like, do I like weekly or do I like daily? So I think that's why I want to offer both. And again, if you get the print version, you can literally just take this out if you don't like it, or you can add it back in. Maybe you go through seasons where weekly is better and or daily is better for you. It can change. That's totally fine. But what you can do is take your Leader Standard work, which I will share more about how to use that, but I have so many videos on how to use that already. So definitely check that out. Search my YouTube channel, go on my Instagram. But essentially, you can take all those very important prioritized meetings and strategic goals and plans and put them on your weekly plan. And then each day at the bottom of the weekly plan, I have what I call Leave Happy tasks. So it's basically a to-do list of 3 items. And this came about probably, I have to share with you guys. I hit my 10-year anniversary at my work on Saturday, and I like both weekly and daily planners. Yeah, it's awesome. I love that. Yeah, it's like I go back and forth. Sometimes the weekly meets my needs. Sometimes I like both. Sometimes I need like more granular. But yeah, so I've hit my 10-year anniversary at my work, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been here a decade. But this Leave Happy Tasks method goes back to 2015. So that's like 7 years ago already when I first started in leadership, in this leadership position that really propelled me forward to like teach leadership to new professionals. Because like I said, I had this giant to-do list. I used to have that like I love list page. I used to have like 5 of those like notebook pages. I'm not even kidding you. And it would be like ideas, or someone said something in a meeting that I didn't want to lose track of. And I would have that. And then every like week I would go through it and like cross it off and like write a new list. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't want to say it overwhelmed me because I liked seeing it all. But at the same time, it wasn't fulfilling because I was like, all right, well, I can't tell if I'm making progress. So Leave Happy tasks stem from a need and a want to feel successful in my work, and to say like, when is enough, right? Like when can I feel like I can go home and leave work on time and feel like I did a good job today? And so for me, it was like, what are the top 3 things or 2 things or 1 thing that I can do today to feel successful and leave work happy? And this is like way before COVID, right? So it's like, in when I used to go into the office every single day. And now I'm back in the office most days, and then some days remote. But still, when can I turn that computer off at the end of the day and feel happy and leave happy? So I have that for every day on this weekly plan. But then I also have the daily plan. So the daily plan has a spot for, it has like every hour of the day starting at 5 and going to 10 p.m. So I like to rise really early. I know other people like to work late, and then some people work different hours than day shift. So I wanted to give room for that. And then it also has 3 boxes, and the boxes are today's intention. The second box is Leave Happy tasks. And then the third box is to thank and recognize. So really this page is all about like knowing what's the plan for the day, like what are the meetings, what are the things I've time blocked for myself to do. And so I'm going to make sure I have focused time on my schedule for those Leave Happy tasks. Otherwise, I just use the hope method. And that method is I just hope that those things get done during the day. But of course, like if you don't have a plan, then hope isn't going to work for you, right? So you have to schedule those things in. And like today, I tried to use this template to kind of learn from it and, continuously improve it. And I wrote down 4 things guilty as charged, more than 3. And I got 2 of them done, right? But I still feel successful because I had a plan and I knew what my intention was for the day. The top box is today's intention. So like usually I want to have a mindset for the day. And I think this is also what helps me in days where I'm severely overbooked in meetings, or maybe I've got a lot of hard conversations to have with folks, or maybe like there's just a ton of exciting things going on and I have to stay grounded. And so this is where I kind of tell myself sort of like a mantra, like today was focused attention, keep going. And for me, like lately, I've gotten tons of emails that need attention. I'll get pinged on my Teams chat, and it's like No, I have like really important things that I want to cross off my list today. So my intention for today was be focused and to keep going. So every time I would get a ping, I was like, no, like that's not urgent. This is my intention, and I want to, show myself that I can get these things done because that's a priority. And then I can, do the interruptions. The other box is to think or recognize. So sometimes I often hear from leaders like, oh, I don't feel connected to my work. Like, what is my purpose? Or I don't feel connected to the people that I work with. So I see there's a few more people joining. Hi, if you're just joining me for the first time, we're talking about the new Leader Standard Workbook Planner that's coming out. Pre-orders start in 2 weeks on the 24th. So if you sign up on the wait list, which is linked in the description below or in my Instagram bio, you will get notified right away when it's open for pre-order. And that will be the early bird pricing. And then digital files will be shipped on November 1st and readily available. And the physical copy will be will be shipped on the 1st. So the physical this year is going to be this disc-bound system, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to have a whole year of planner in here for you ready to go. And the digital will be a PDF for GoodNotes or for any PDF writing system. Or if you guys want it, I want to hear your feedback. I'll have a OneNote bundle as well. So yeah, I mean, some people will tell me I feel so disconnected from my work. And I think we all know we're supposed to be expressing gratitude, and we have these like gratitude lists and affirmations we want to say. But at the same time, like sometimes it can just feel like that's what we're supposed to do. And then it's like work, or it doesn't get done, or we skip it. So for me, one thing I can do that's very active is look for people to thank or recognize. So on a daily basis, there are people that I work with that show me like that they are invested, that they are problem solving, that they want to help. They maybe help me. Maybe it's they raised my spirits, but maybe they did something to make sure like staffing was good, or they solved a problem. And so I basically just write names of people who I want to thank or recognize. And my company has something called Heartbeats. It's basically like an e-card that you can send somebody, and their boss gets notified, and you can pick like what behavior category they, observed, like, oh, I observed you collaborating for outcomes. And it's super cheesy, but at the same time, like when I get them, I get excited. So it's a great way to show recognition. Or maybe it's just a quick email or a thank you card, or just a, hey, passing them in the hallway. Hey, I just want you to know I appreciate you, and that really helped me today. So that is one way to feel more connected to your work. And I find that if you like the people you work with, you're more likely to stick with your work because the people are almost everything, right? So expressing gratitude is such an important part. Thank you for including this. Oh, you're welcome. I agree. Like we can write like gratitude lists, and I love doing that too. Like, what am I grateful for? And at the same time, sometimes it's more fun, or it can be an extra added thing to have like intention on your daily page. Like, who am I going to thank today? Right? Like who can I brighten someone else's day and kind of reciprocate what they've done for me? All right. So the next page, it's basic. It's just a notes page. So I include this with every monthly setup, and you can basically insert notes pages wherever you like. And then the next really exciting new thing I have is this project Kanban board. So I'll post this on Instagram, but you can see the reel from this morning. But the project Kanban board is 6 different categories. And this is essentially I'll call it like a downtime or a paper copy of the system that I use in Microsoft Teams. Essentially what a Kanban board is, you categorize your projects under different categories, and it allows you to essentially move the project from one stage to the next stage. So this is how I prioritize my entire team and department and system goals, so that my team knows like where are we at with the project. Instead of it just being like a list, we used to just have like a project list, and that was great, but we never knew like what the exact status was. So my Kanban board has different categories. So I have new or to categorize, planning, like I'm actually gathering information, but I'm not like spending mental energy on that thing. I'm just kind of gathering resources. Doing next, it's like, okay, on deck, like okay, the next project that I implement or that I start is going to be this one. So this is the next prioritized one. Then doing. So doing for me is like I'm spending physical and mental energy on this thing on a day or weekly basis. Meaning like I've got appointments on my calendar and I'm going to meetings and I'm like messaging folks and I'm planning. Not just planning, but I'm like actually physically making things happen. And then the next column is checking or pending feedback. So this is kind of the part of the plan, do, check, act model of improvement. Checking meaning like, okay, is it working? Like I'm observing the project and whatever I've done. Or pending feedback, a lot of times I'll have people like email somebody and I'll be like, okay, here's what you asked for. And then I'm just waiting for them to respond. And in my mind, it just helps me to be like, put it over here in this bucket of just pending feedback, because that way I know I'm not like constantly spending mental energy on it being like, am I supposed to be doing something? And I can say like, no, I'm just waiting. And that's totally fine. That's part of it. And then the last kind of category is implementing to sustain. So whatever change or project you want to implement, you want to make sure, excuse me, that it's sustainable for the long term and that you've got all your procedures updated and that people are trained and all of those things that make lasting change. So that's sort of like a public health spin on this, but also kind of from project management. So I'm excited about that. So you can even put like little Post-its here with each project and then move them around. So my vision for this is that you might update this like on a monthly basis or even a weekly basis by just jotting down what projects you're working on. And then I have an active project list or active project status. So essentially it's one of those projects from the Kanban board, but like deep dive. So I have all those same categories, but for the one project. So it's like the project name and date, planning, doing next, doing, checking or pending feedback, and implementing to sustain. But then you can also use this tool for your boss or your leader. So when you're meeting with them and they're like, hey, what barriers do you have or anything to escalate? I have a section for that. Because as a leader, I know I'm going to ask that. I find that when I ask, sometimes my direct reports are unprepared to answer that question. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of stuck with, this person, or I don't know who else to reach out to. I'm like, okay, great. Let me help you. So this is kind of to prompt you to think like, maybe I should ask for help. A place to put green or red. So is the project on track or not? And I'll teach you how to use this. Some people want a yellow, but to me, it's either it's on track or it's not on track. So I'll teach you how to use that. And then learnings or insights. So as a leader, I often, I don't care if something bad happens on the project or gets railroaded or whatever, or derailed, I should say. All I care about is that you're learning and that we do better next time. And so for me, I like to know like what you've learned and what you're going to carry forward. So I put that on here as sort of a reflection point and then a spot for other notes. So you can, on my team, I've got people working on one to a few projects at a time. They can provide a more updated status report. And then the last big template I have is the one-on-one meeting template. Let's see here. I actually was using it today because I was piloting it. Did I pull it out? Here we go. This is a blank one. Oh, here we go. I have one underneath. Let's see. I don't want to show all the info because it's a little bit proprietary. So I'll just show you guys the blank one. So I have a one-on-one meeting template that I talked about consistently on my YouTube channel and I sell in my shop. And I enhanced it even more because I was finding that I wanted a little bit more structure on it. So it used to just be like you or them, you, and then like questions to ask. And now it's them, you, or, depending on if it's you're the leader or they're the leader, right? And then to share or ask. But then I also have a spot for action items, and then I have like lines, so it can be more structured. So I was finding that oftentimes there's takeaways from the meeting, right? Like there's things that I've committed to doing and that you've committed to doing. So I want to be able to follow up on those without it getting lost in those notes. So I used to just like highlight those or circle them. So I was like, why don't I just create a spot for action items? So this is great. So say you take notes on this one, you have the date, you have who you met with. The next time you meet with that person, if you're the leader, or even if you're meeting with your boss, you have a new one-on-one meeting template. You can look at the previous one and be like, okay, what action items did I commit to? Make sure you get those done. And then when you meet with them, you can also ask them and keep them accountable and say, hey, we both agreed to these things. Here's the things I got done, or here's what I didn't get done and why. And hey, did you get your pieces done too? So it keeps you both accountable. So honestly, didn't know if I could enhance it any further because I like to keep it simple, but I was like, oh, I need a little bit more structure. So I'm really pumped about that. So that is the Leader Standard Workbook kind of high level overview in a nutshell. So again, honestly, my commitment to you guys, because like I said, I feel like I could do a better job just sharing the day-to-day use of it. And I think I struggle with that because, again, like I just mentioned, some of the stuff is private. Like I don't want to share my company or organization's details because it's, I work for healthcare organizations. So what I can do though is kind of just walk you through how I fill out things. And even if it doesn't contain like patient info or, certain things I can't share, I could share that online. So I'm going to try to be doing that. And so if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me at KFA Consulting. So I'm going to be trying to come on here during the week, every day leading up to the launch day or the I should say pre-order day on the 24th, and going in depth into these templates and sharing with you how I'm using them and how I've used them over time, and try to have humor with it and try to teach you not just like, okay, here's how you use a planner, here's plan with me, but no, like here's the mindset behind it and here's how you stay organized. And if you get derailed and don't fill it out perfectly, that's okay. And build in additional lessons that I've learned over my last decade. I can't believe it, in healthcare. So yeah, I shared earlier that I hit my 10 years at my work on last Saturday. And I totally forgot, you guys. My boss came up to me. She goes, oh, happy, it's 10 years. I was going to buy you bagels this week. And then I realized I needed to order more in advance. So next Thursday, I'm going to have bagels for you and your team. I'm like, oh, yeah, 10 years. That's a huge accomplishment. So I think I get a new badge, buddy, that says 10 years. Pretty cool. But yeah, honestly, I don't know if that I'd be with the same organization, but I still felt like I have more to accomplish there. And I love to take what I've learned and share it with you. So like I said at the top of this, my intention with all of this is just to like multiply what I know. Because when I started as a new professional leader, I feel like I wasn't represented. I'm still one of the youngest managers with 2 kiddos and a crazy busy full life. And most of the managers I know are not in that stage of life, but it's doable. I know a lot of us have a full life and we've got a lot going on. And then as a new professional, how do you find somebody who, is willing to learn and change and grow and do different things and try different strategies? And how do you lead Gen Z, right? Like I'm a millennial, you guys, born in 1990. And, you probably know this from watching, but I'm not cool. Like I'm not Gen Z, but I can relate. And so I think that is totally different. The workforce is changing. If you are a young professional, you have to be able to lead Gen Z and boomers, right? And everybody in between. And that is like the most fun, beautiful thing. So she says, thank you for sharing this. I love the meeting follow-up section. I think your planner is the first I've seen at a happy anniversary. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I want to come see you in Geneva. That would be so much fun. Oh, yes. I think just, we all know we have action items and follow-up, but then somehow like we forget to be accountable for it, or we don't have like a dedicated spot. So I always like to have that in there. So, all right, you guys. I want to leave you with this. If you haven't already, go to the waitlist in the description or the link in my bio. Sign up on the waitlist so that you can get emailed when the pre-orders are available, and I'll be sharing cost and the price. I just want to see how much interest there is before I go ahead and like order a bunch of these. And then Also, if you have feedback or want to see other templates or, other things I've talked about, let me know so I can add them in and make this like super enhanced before I just launch it. So thank you so much for watching. And then hopefully I can get my disk space cleared up on my PC so I can upload my latest YouTube video. But maybe I'll just have to keep doing lives instead, which is not a bad thing. So, all right, everybody, take care. Thanks for joining if you were here live with me. And we'll see you later, YouTube. And we'll see you later, Instagram.